is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 176. 77? 77. Son of a bitch. I'm pulling it up because I don't want to be wrong.
Well, I'm Tyler.
Yeah, I'm Jake. That's Tyler. And welcome back to Off Panel, Off Topic. This is, look, I'll just say it. Right off the gate. It hasn't been the best place to be. America hasn't been in the last few, days. But I will tell you this. Why I'm excited about this episode. I promise you I'm getting to a point. 2 weeks ago was the election here, right? And I got to say, not my wife and I, my friends, you and I, we haven't been too happy about what happened.
I'm embarrassed
but
for my country.
The reason I love it, like episodes like tonight, it's times like these, it's great to connect and reconnect with stories and worlds that I love. And so it was really cool to do I love doing the comic books. Like I love doing movies and TV for this show, but comic books are like my favorite to do for this show because more than anything else, and I think I really found this out in this past year because I've been reading comics and books in general more. I'm finding out that above anything else, I think video games and comic books are like my two safe spaces, like my little safe havens. Movies, movies are like that too, but I think those two especially, I absolutely adore. I absolutely adore them.
I'll agree with you for myself, but I'll tell you,
For comic books.
for myself, it's a different kind of reasoning. When I was growing up, there was no home video when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Till I was almost 12 or 10,
Yeah,
10 12,
Blockbuster-
13 before we got our first VCR. You know what I mean? So I would go see a movie, of course, and I would be amazed by the movie, but that maybe I'd see it on TV again. But comic books we had. So even though we loved Star Wars, we really only saw it in the theater, but we had the Star Wars comic books that we could read and reread over and over again.
Yeah.
And those were things that were tangible that we could look at and that we could hold in our hands and read. And learning to read on comic books, which is how I got to be able to, learn words quicker than most, is I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of my story that I get to tell.
Yeah, and I don't want to derail the show right away, but we originally called this show
I
off.
tried to just now, but
We originally called this show Off Panel Off Topic because we wanted to talk about comic books.
Yes.
more. And we, for the most part, we have talked a lot about comics in the show. So I was just saying I'm glad that
we've had a good chunk. We've had
This is
enough.
a comics heavy episode is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So
But the best part is that even when we've gone like a couple weeks without doing comic books, at some point we go back to them.
well, like I said, I had
We can't help it.
above everything else, like video games and comic books are just, I would say maybe even more than video games, comic books are such, I just adore that medium.
Me too.
And I just love reading comic books. So any Hoosiers.
What are you, a fucking Oh.
Wow.
Are you an Indiana fan or some shit?
No, actually, they violated my team on
Wow.
national television.
You have to. Wow, it's visceral.
It was for me. So yeah, before we get to the comics,
Fan.
let's talk about a TV show. So we just wrapped The Penguin last week.
Yep.
But
With
now,
a blammer of a finale.
and I gotta give HBO credit, they're going from Penguin to Dune. So going from a DC property to Dune, a big property, and this originally was going to be called The Sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
I had reservations about this show, and I think have some reservations about this show.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? I want to.
I want to
I
hear.
feel like you're going to talk a lot about this,
Yeah.
because you know a lot about this world.
I don't want you to just not talk,
so-
but I want to hear
yeah.
I want to
So-
hear what you're.
My honest take on it. So
Yes.
originally, much like, funny enough, maybe I should just always have no expectations for TV, because I had no expectations for Penguin or Agatha, and I ended up really enjoying those shows a lot. And I think, I keep breathing into the mic. I think this first episode has me interested enough. However, I don't think I'm as tied to this world as much as you are in this universe. And so I think if I were more invested in it like you are, I'd probably enjoy it more. Right. That being said, I think as someone who really, really liked the Villeneuve Dune movies, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was an interesting a very intriguing first episode.
Yeah.
I will say this. I know why you probably love it, and it's another reason why I really enjoy it. We are getting capital A acting in this show, and it's kind of fucking crazy that Mark Strong was in Penguin and this. Like, what the hell? But
that guy.
So can I ask you a quick question?
Agree, yeah.
So I ask you a quick question. Before we rabbit hole, and I'll kind of get done with my tangent, and then we'll have you
I'm
wax
all about
poetic.
It. Yeah.
Ask
as many questions.
Is
while I'm doing my
he?
shit.
So he is the ancestor to Christopher Walken's Emperor in Dune.
Because
this is 10,000 years before Paul Atreides.
He is a Carino, yes.
And also, I must have forgot about this. The Bene Gesserit, how long do they live?
How long?
Yeah, on average.
Because I think they have expanded lifespans.
I was gonna say Vala is this is 115 years in the future, after the beginning scene, right? Is that what
no. It's 116 years after the end of the war with the machines.
Yeah. I thought I misread that because I was losing my mind because I could have swore I misread that piece because I'm like, there's no fucking way she's 116 years old. All right. So, anyway, all that wrapped
Ready
in.
for the deep dive?
Well, all that wrapped in, I think the Bene Gesserit. I just thought. I thought it was. First of all, I thought it was weird that they were going to do a Dune show, let alone a prequel show. And then I also thought it was an interesting choice that they were going with the Bene Gesserit. I don't know if I would have thought. I was like, that's kind of weird. But that was also at the time. I think this was announced like
3 years ago.
Yeah, like relatively
a long time ago.
It was announced at around the same time Part 2 was announced. I'm pretty sure.
It was announced before Part 1 came out, I thought. I thought they were like, hey, this is
I think they were talking about it, yeah. I think it had been in development for a while. But But regardless...
It's like the fucking Green Lantern show. It's like, finally.
But regardless...
To me.
I think I like what HBO has been doing with Penguin and with this in finding ways to expand their universes and also do it in a way that's far enough from the movies that if you were not to watch this, you wouldn't need to know watch the next movie. But if you do watch it, you're going to have so much more. Like, I think I'm going to enjoy Batman Part 2 so much more because I watched the Penguin.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say, to wrap that all up, is I
feel free to jump in.
Oh, and I know, but I just really love what HBO is doing and expanding these universes. And I love, it's like when I was talking to you about it, I was talking with another friend of mine that is really into Dune. It's just like, I am honestly totally fine not reading any of the books at this point. Because
you don't really have to.
No, because I love watching this play out as someone who is... dude, you don't understand how refreshing it is for me. How you probably... It's funny how you and I are going to enjoy this on different levels. Because on one level, I'm enjoying it because I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm okay with it. Because for once, I could be like, I don't have homework of all this other shit that I, And so for me to go in and just experience it firsthand... It was really cool, and I'm interested where it's gonna go from here. But I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. No.
We're gonna have a conversation
because I want to jump into this.
We're gonna have a conversation. I just want to kind of give my Here's someone who has no attachment to this, has only seen the Villeneuve movies, never read any of the books. I know enough about the story, like the next couple books and the rest of the story, to be okay with it. Not okay with it, not just to know enough about where the plot's going. And now this, I have no fucking idea. Continue. Anyway.
First things first. To all you Frank Herbert purists, go fuck yourselves.
Whoa.
All right? No. Because all of them are like the first 6 Dune books, and that's it. Everything that Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson have done is an affront to the memory of blah, blah. Okay, first things first. At the very end of the books that Frank wrote, there's a couple, an old couple that appears to one of the protagonists. And it's clear that they're malevolent, right? Like a spirit, like kind of like in space, okay? It's like corporeal or discorporeal, you know what I mean? And it's like a vision and stuff, and he knows they're trying to catch him and stuff. Now, here's my thing. It's clear that Frank intended those two characters at the very end of the Dune sagas that he wrote to end up being what Brian and Kevin wrote, which is they are Omnius and Erasmus. Now, Omnius is the overmind. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. Yeah. No. But here's why it's important because they say everything that Brian and Kevin are doing is off of Frank's notes. Okay.
Yeah.
And Brian grew up with the dude, man. It's not like he didn't talk to him about it. Anyway. So fuck you guys.
I want to be clear. I don't want to alienate people that are.
No,
You're not really meaning fuck you, yes. But.
No, I don't really mean, but stop hating on people who do enjoy those books because
I agree with that.
I think it enriches the Dune universe. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So So human history, Earth, right? Mm-hmm. And they create artificial intelligence, and these humans, they take over in like political ways, and they take over everything, and they call themselves the Titans, and they have this AI that helps them do everything and help them take over like all the defensive stuffs and whatever, and that's why they're in charge, right? It's like 24 of them, 24 humans that are in charge of all the colonies and everything, right? This is thousands and thousands of years ago. Okay. At one point, they decide that they can be immortal, so they take their brains out and put them into these bodies called Cymex, okay? Mm-hmm. That's what you saw at the beginning of the episode, is the Cymex, those big robots that they were fighting.
Yeah.
Those are Cymex. Those are what they were fighting against, the Titans. Now, at some point after they become Cymex, one of their number fucks up something, and Omnius is allowed to take over everything. So
that's the AI that like
the
turns
overmind
everything evil,
and that means he has control over the Cymex and the Titans now because they have robot bodies and shit, and they can't. So they're like beholden to this fucking overmind. So they're pissed about that, right? So there's kind of all these wars going on. So at the time of the Butlerian Jihad, which is mentioned in the books,
and I know what that is.
Right,
we've talked about it on the show.
There's still humans on Earth, but they're all enslaved under the robots.
Okay,
the thinking machines,
and also the Butlerian Jihad.
Wow,
that's a
terrible, blah, blah.
Terrible slip up. Yeah. But that, so with that, having known that explains why later in the episode, why they react the way they do to the machines. Because they're like, fuck. And like, I love the way of showing her being like, if you pull that shit again, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like, and there was
so the Richeses are from Ix. And during
this is so nerdy.
Oh my god, dude! In the first in the David Lynch film, he's talking to somebody.
I'm gonna clip this, by the way, and put it on Modern Mythology.
He's talking to somebody, and they're like many thinking. Oh, it's when the pilot, the guild navigator, shows up to the Emperor, and he's like, many thinking machines on Ix, and he's like, yes. And the reason why that's in there at all is because in the Dune book, it's actually a big plot point. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
The big plot point doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter in the movie. It's whatever. I'm just saying
it's not in the movie.
We've had reference to Ix before in the movie.
But it's not a bigger... I know what you mean.
But that's why they have machines, right? And they are one of the few worlds in the Landsrod which is trying to...
Like bring them back?
It's just trying to say like, hey, we don't have to be so rigid, right, guys?
Like we could still use them as tools and toys and...
So that's what happens there. So they write these first 3 books, and it's called Butlerian Jihad, Machine Crusade, and the Battle of Corin, right? Explains why the Harkonnens and Atreides hate each other. Because Xavier Harkonnen is the father of Serena Butler's child, who is murdered by Erasmus on Earth, which causes the Butlerian Jihad in general. Because he sterilizes her and kills her child, right?
Can I just... Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Real quick. I don't want to halt you right now, but it's just funny how the more you're describing this, the more I'm realizing how similar Warhammer is to this. Because this is this reminds me of the Horus Heresy and all that stuff.
So anyway,
I know what you mean. But Valerian Jihad happens. We have this going on.
I know, but I'm explaining that the Xavier Harkonnen is one of the war heroes of that effort, and so is Varian Atreides, who used to be who used to be Erasmus's pet on Earth. And Erasmus is this thinking machine that accompanies Omnius everywhere, right?
The human computer?
He's a total computer, but he wants to be human and da-da-da-da. It's not really important. The point is that Varian Atreides, the forefront, used to be a machine loyalist, right?
Ow, fudge.
So he proves himself in battle. He proves himself to the Harkonnens. The Harkonnens, at this point in history, at the end of the Machine Wars, are very venerated and war heroes and all this stuff. And at the very end, at the Battle of Corinne, one of the younger Harkonnens, this is after Xavier's died, one of the younger Harkonnens betrays the human effort because they've trapped the world. They've trapped the Overmind on this one world, right? And so they're going to just blast the fuck out of this world and just end it for all. And this one guy, basically, he disables their weapons. Way too much to go into. Just there you go.
Okay.
So Atreides says, "You fucking traitor," and he sends him to the brig. And he makes it his mission to smear the Harkonnen name after that, despite the fact that Xavier was one of his friends. Dearest friends, he has to, for political shit, he has to make somebody the villain, and the Harkonnens are the ones. That's why the Atreides and the Harkonnens fucking hate each other.
And that's why it's such a big deal that Paul Atreides' mother is a Harkonnen.
Now, the Harkonnens, at this point in the story of the prophecy, are clearly they're still trying to make their way back into polite society, but you can tell that nobody likes them, right? They're just like, we're putting up with you, but you fucking suck. Stop talking to us, right? The Harkonnen, by the time of the Dune books, they have fully gone heel. They've fuck it. Everybody hates us, so we're going to be exactly what everybody thinks we are, which is cannibalistic motherfucking evil fuckers, dude.
And we're going to turn this planet black and white because we polluted it with our mongering.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So those are kind of the two important bits there. And then if I'm not mistaken, the Spacing Guild and the Bene Gesserit, the Mentats, the Sook School of Doctors, and the Fremen all exist here. And the reason why the Fremen exist at all is in that first trio of books, the Holtzman shields are invented, and during their first test run, these slaves, because the Human Alliance still uses slaves, which there's a lot of people in the Human Alliance that are like, hey guys, machines are using slaves. We shouldn't be. We're free, right? It's a big deal in the books, right? Anyway, so these slaves revolt and they shoot a lasgun at the fucking field that the engines create. And it blows them to hell, right? But all of these guys get sent to Arrakis. They're the first Fremen in the books. Because they're like, shit, what do we do? Out of 300 of them, 20 of them end up surviving, right? And they end up, all these legends about Salim Wormrider and blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know all that shit. Point is that this first trio of books tells us all these things. I would wager to say that this series is taking place about 116 years after that battle I was telling you about, the Battle of Corinne in the books. There are about 8 or 9 books that I've never read. If you really want to know, here's what I suggest. If you've never read them, read the first original Frank Herbert books all the way to the end. I can't remember the last one. I think it's called Chapter House Dune. I can't remember, but there's 6 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Read those. Go back and read the first 3, the Balerian Jihad, the Machine Crusade, and the Battle of Corinne. Then read the final 2 books in the saga that were written by Brian and Kevin. And I can't remember what their names are, but they finish out. Frank's original thing was to have the 7th book be the end. They broke it up into 2 parts. But the saga from there to there in that way, because you kind of have to get all the shit in the middle before you start here. But you can't start here, but without going here first. Does that make sense?
This is great radio when you're just pointing. You're gonna have to draw a map. So okay, but
if you don't get the middle shit, which is the original Frank stuff, you can't go to the beginning, which is the prequels. And if you don't go to the prequels, you won't understand the final 2 books. But it makes more sense. I'm just saying.
This is why I'm just gonna.
I'm just
gonna watch the movies.
It's a glorious fucking saga, dude. It spans like 30,000 fucking years. It's insane. It's insane. From what I understand, again, these schools exist, but I didn't see any Hayliners like they do in the Dune movie. Those giant ships. Now, real quick.
Real quick. You've been going for like 10 minutes.
In the David Lynch movie, the way that they actually show like the guild navigator like flying through like his little bubble and going up, and it's actually really terrible effects, but it's kind of neat. The way they show it in that movie is that everybody goes on from the planet onto the Hayliner, the big ship, and then it fades, and then it reappears somewhere. Fair. That's a fair way to
work around it. Yeah,
that's a fair way to visualize it, right? But I really like, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I really like the way they did it in the Villeneuve movies, which to me is that there's a Hayliner over everywhere, and it's a portal. So all these ships go up, and they go through one end of the Hayliner at Caladan, and the other, they fold space in between that Hayliner, pass through that portal, and get to Arrakis on the other side.
Okay.
They fold space is how they...
like a black hole, yeah.
Kind of, right? I don't know. I really don't. But I like that way of doing it. I didn't see any Hayliners in the movie or any indication that there were. Now, I do know in the books that all these worlds are fairly close together, and they do have interstellar travel. It's just really slow until they invent
the spice.
No, well, the spice is there. The spice at this point should be... I until I see more about the Spacing Guild and how that works, I don't know the state of spice in this universe yet.
Okay.
Because it's clearly a thing. They have to have it. They have people hunting it on Arrakis.
Well, that's literally why they had the marriage arranged in this episode, is because they're like, well, if I don't get I have to do this.
Control of the spice.
Yes, I need to fucking control the spice.
So I need to see what's going on with
because
the Spacing Guild. Because there's none of that so
because
far.
all these that's the whole thing. This is all built around. That's what I love about Dune, and I find so interesting about Dune, is the fact that it always goes back to Arrakis. It's always Arrakis because that's where the spice is.
And at some point in one of the final books that Frank wrote, Arrakis is destroyed.
What? I know. And so okay, so this whole episode is an interesting thing. So we get Vala's introduction as a teenager, and their High Mother, or is it the High Mother?
So, yeah, Raquel Berto Anarul is actually a character from the first 3 books. She's one of the first ones who starts the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. But anyway, she calls her in as she's dying, and like you'll see the path.
The Mentats and the Bene Gesserit actually are very closely related in their origins. Very closely related.
And well, see, and more than the movie, and more than both those movies, obviously that's by design, because the movie does go and play like the book and the story itself. It does kind of play with drug use and psychedelics and all that. But this, I think, I think this episode goes further because you have the nightmare, and you have that nightmare sequence. And what I'm finding interesting is the little nuances to the Bene Gesserit. So like, she bonded with this girl. That's why she's having these visions of her.
I don't know what's going on.
Is that what that means?
I really don't know what's going on as far as the nightmare visions go.
Okay.
We're
gonna jump around. I'm gonna start. Fuck it. You went on your whole tangent. We're gonna start at the end and go work.
Can we go to Desmond Hart real quick, and I'll say my last thing, and then you can go, please.
Go ahead.
I don't know if he's a character from the books. I don't remember him. And
that's the dude that was on Arrakis.
Yeah, and he's the guy who burns a little kid.
Yes, that's who I wanted to talk about anyway. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, what the fuck?
or why it's affecting
I just screamed
or
that.
why it's affecting the Bene Gesserit
okay.
girl like
Okay.
millions of miles away.
Are we? Wait. Is this trying to imply? This is he's doing what Leto the second does and goes on the golden path or some shit? Because it has to do with sandworms. Because he gets eaten by a sandworm or he looks like to be swallowed by a sandworm, and then he's got telekinetic burning powers. So what the fuck?
I don't know. Again, this is
yeah,
I don't know, but it looks interesting.
telepathic.
And I can't. I'll look it up.
Mind fire powers. Anyway, the point.
Mind fire.
Also, that was gnarly.
Also known as a hangover.
So what did you think of that? Because I was like, oh my god, he's burning this kid with his mind.
Honestly, I thought that was a little much, but also knowing how they feel about thinking machines and shit, and the fact that he was still playing with it, dude. Read the room, man. Get rid of that thing.
Oh yeah, when he was touching it, that was.
I am not condoning what happened to him at all. I'm just saying
he had to have known that. Granted, he's a 9-year-old kid, but he should have.
Also, Hart seems like an evil fucking dude.
Even a 9-year-old kid could see how on edge everybody in that room was, and he literally had a woman tell him, "I will fucking kill you if I see this." And
he's just in the hall out of nowhere. He's not in his private. What the fuck, kid?
But that was actually a really great scene, and I watched the behind the scenes. I missed the guy's name, but the dude who plays that character was really good in this episode because he's so unsettling every time he's in the room. Even in the moments when he's talking in the quarters and they're having like a conversation between, a leader and his top guy, and it's just like a moment. Even then, it's still that little bit of tension of like, don't you believe in other things? And him just kind of describing of like, all I remember is just pulling myself out of it.
Pyrokinesis.
Okay.
That I was trying to look up what it was called because telekinesis and telepathy.
But I'm just saying there has to. Did he?
That's going to be one of the mysteries, and I don't know.
Because the water of life comes from sandworms, right?
Yeah. It's when they're.
Could it be? Are we implying that when the worm engulfed him, he ingested some of the water of life?
I have no idea.
And
that's one of the mysteries of the show.
I'm sure they're going to play it out through it. Yeah.
I don't know like what role he plays or what, but I do, I don't know if you noticed, but the sword master is named Atreides.
Oh yeah.
The guy who
bangs
the princess while they're smoking weed.
Can I talk about that? Or can we talk about that? I love again how I know it sounds silly, but in the movies you don't really see a lot of spice use. There is spice use in the movie. It is a part of the movie, but like you don't see it like this. Like you don't see civilians doing it. You just see Paul eating some spice or whatever. Right. And it was just I don't know. It was funny to see someone and interesting to do it a fucking bump of spice.
See, that's
that's normal.
That's my thing.
World, yeah.
Like if by the end of the Battle of Corin, which is again what I'm assuming is 116 years before the time of this show.
After? I thought this was after.
That's what I'm saying. 100.
Oh, before this show.
Battle of Corin. Yes.
Yeah. I'm a dummy. I don't.
No, you're fine. But according to the books and everything, they knew at that point how important spice was to space travel, to the Mentats, to the Bene Gesserit already had their own stores built up. I mean, this was a big deal. Now, again, he clearly says, like, I need to regain control of the spice or I'll be dethroned, whatever. But why? We haven't seen the only thing that we've seen in this show, according to the spice,
a rich,
is them doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're just doing it to get fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything else. Now, however, there was a.
Is it implied they're smoking it too?
Maybe. The bartender at the place where they meet does have the the eyes of Ibad. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, I did see. Yeah.
The spice use, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I don't know.
That's another. Okay, so I was asking about that because when his eyes.
Yeah, why doesn't Desmond have the eyes of Ibad if he's been there
blue,
so much?
But his eyes are blue because.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the eyes of Ibad.
I know that, but I'm just still saying his eyes are very blue. So I'm like, is that also implied? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm confused.
I don't know. Yeah, he's
of
a
what
big mystery, and I'm excited to find
and
out.
again, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be
Clearly an evil dude. He roasted a 9-year-old. What the fuck, dude?
But the fact that he said that, like, well, oh my god, that was such a great scene, though. And context of it was so unsettling.
Listen, man,
because till he starts to talk about war, I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna kill this kid. Because then he goes, it won't be in vain, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna kill this kid.
listen, man. I've been walking along, and like, a 9-year-old trips, and I'm like, way to go, dipshit. Like, I've roasted a 9-year-old before,
But
right?
I haven't like
Roasted
him on fire. This guy legitimately roasted a nine.
Hey, you walk much, you fucking idiot?
But what does it mean that the
I'm only 9.
But why does she? But why does she burn across the galaxy?
I don't know.
Well, they explain that in later episodes. I'm sure they will. But
As will we.
that's what you call a series. It has a dangling plot thread.
It's called a dangling participle.
You have to have a cliffhanger so I come back the next
If you're a
week.
fan of early aughts political humor, it's a hanging Chad.
Hanging Chad.
Hanging Chad.
Oh, also, what I'll say that I continue to love how this creative team, like Villeneuve and this team, portrays the armor and the shields. Like, as a video game nerd, it continues to be like, yeah. Because, again, you think about it in a game, that's what it looks like. It's just this thinly veiled thing, and then
those are called the Holtzman shields, right?
Yeah.
Now the engines that are used in the Spacing Guild are called Holtzman engines, and when they're discovered, they're like, okay, this is awesome. We can go like from one place to another like instantaneously, but they don't know how to control it. So when they first start using this against the machines, because the machines don't know they have it, they think it takes him like 3 months to get to a battle, right? But then they show up to a battle like way before, and they catch the machine. So that's how they start making dents in the machine. The synchronized worlds is what they're called. At some point, they realize, okay, we can use these, but we don't have anybody who can like do the necessary calculations in that amount of time. The Spacing Guild, the navigators, are created and warped by the spice so that they can do it like somebody breathes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, they would send 100 ships and maybe like 60 of them would show up. The other 40 would like end up in stars, in the middle of stars, or like just lost forever for not, because they had no idea. It was like a 60% success rate. Because they had no idea how to control the engines once they were activated. You have to make like thousands of calculations, and they don't have thinking machines. They don't have computers.
Yeah.
So how do we do this without computers? For a little while in the books, they actually smuggle computers in, and then they're found out, and they have to, like, it's bad news, right? Because there's a whole
strange.
There's the Butlerians are like becoming like a zealot, a zealous group among the human worlds, and they're like walking around like breaking toasters and shit. Like, they're hardcore.
Well, it's funny you say the Mentat. Well, again, I'm sorry, but it's just like the nuances of this remind me so much.
But the Mentat and the Spacing Guild and the Bene Gesserit are all tied in because they're all trying to. They know that they can't do anything without thinking machines. So, but they can't have them. So what's the next thing? Well, we have to fucking accelerate human evolution like that. And they do it.
Which is why they're breeding like they are.
They do it with a plague that comes from the machine, the synchronized worlds at some point in the book. But this one girl learns how to metastasize it or whatever. She learns how to process it, and she makes a cure. That's the first Bene Gesserit, right? It's a whole thing, man. The book, like I said, dude, it's fucking really cool, like how everything wraps around everything else in the books. But yeah, at this point, they should have by the end of the first 3 books, which again, this series is supposed to be taking place 116 years after that. By that point, they have they've figured out how to use the Holtzman engines, and again, the shields that they use is called the Holtzman field. So that's
okay. So what about
that's
the
why you can't
what
use
about the
laser
machine he
guns
uses
against
to
those.
watch the recording? What's that?
I don't know, but it is like it's like a VCR.
Oh, okay.
But those are okay, apparently.
Because they're not thinking.
Yeah.
They're just machines.
They're just
because
they're performing
they
a
have
function.
to, because in that logic they couldn't even use spaceships. So it has to be, as long as it doesn't have artificial intelligence.
So at some point in at the beginning of the first Dune, the Villeneuve, you see Gurney Halleck. He's reading a little book, and that's the Orange Catholic Bible. And that Bible comes about around the time of the Butlerian Jihad and stuff, and it is basically what everybody adheres to according to the machine. And one of the commandments is, "Thou shalt not make machines in the form of man," or something like that, or thinking whatever. It's something like that.
Yeah.
And so, again, like these Serena zealots, they're traveling all the human worlds, like breaking toasters and like VCRs and shit, right? And they're like, no, and
Not
so
all machines.
yeah, like glow globes. You already
Yeah.
see that glow globes are a thing because there's one following heart when he walks away from roasting the kid. Again, we're not going to let you just live that down, Desmond. That's pretty rough. You roasted a child.
Yeah, it's wild. I
got nothing else to say about it.
I love.
I know you're like bullshit.
No, I love they explain how they learn how people deceive, and they learn how to read lies, and then they do the thing with the clicking where they like attune themselves.
I love the battle language.
Yeah, and the fact that we're also seeing, because in the movies we saw a lot about what they can do with the voice and their visions and things like that, and in this we're also seeing their combat prowess, which I think I'm sure was an emphasis in the show to show that they could handle themselves in a fight. And I do like that we're kind of telling the multiple storylines. We're telling Vala's storyline of how she's trying to reclaim her name and build the Bene Gesserit to what we know they will be in the movies. And then we also see the storyline of how they're being trained. I love it that we are getting that nuance of how a Bene Gesserit is trained and all of that, and like they showed like the previews of the future
the peak
episodes.
Of human prowess.
We're gonna learn how
ways,
and they're gonna learn. Yeah, we're gonna learn how they transmog poison, and we're gonna learn all this other stuff. And
they translate. What the fuck is that word that we're trying?
I said
to do?
transmog.
Yeah,
Like the poison.
Did you say transmog?
Yeah,
is that a word?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like not
like
quite,
Calvin and Hobbes made up the transmogrifier.
I'm not super positive it is, but I would pretend it is.
No, but you're right. Like, okay, just to give you an idea of the Bene Gesserit power, the woman that goes to Baron Harkonnen, the one in the Dune books, when he's younger, he's a lot more like athletic and whatnot, right? But he's a sadist, right? And this Bene Gesserit has to go and collect his seed, right? And what's the easiest way to collect seed? Have sex.
Oh, yeah.
No. Because the Baron, the Vladimir Harkonnen, that guy, he like beats the shit out of her, right?
Oh sorry.
She goes back.
Apologies. I did not know.
She goes back. Now, she can defend her. It's complicated. I'm not sure how to exactly explain it, but she goes back to the thing. And and she's so angry about it that she goes back a second time to him to lay with him again. And she takes like this really super powerful fucking form of syphilis inside of her. And their power is such that she's holding this syphilis inside of her without it infecting herself. Wow. But when she fucks Vladimir again, that's why he looks the way he does in the Dune movies or by the Dune books, is because he got like this horrible STD from the Bene Gesserit as revenge. And again, the woman, the child of that union ends up being Paul's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. And her mother actually is Gaius Mohiam, the Charlotte Rampling in the movies. That's her mother. according to the books that Brian and Kevin wrote, which is, some people might be mad about that. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, take your purity and shove it up your
overall,
big fat dirty bit.
Overall,
What?
I think you probably enjoyed it more than I did, and that's just and I knew that was going to happen, just because you have a
Cymex, dude.
just because you have clearly a much bigger attachment.
The fucking Cymex, dude. Did you see the Cymex?
Also, I love the turn of phrase to be in universe where he's like, "They'll feed me to a worm instead of feed me to the dogs." I'm like, all right. So yeah, Dune Prophecy. I'm interested to see where it's going. It's not like it's hard to. I'm not gonna compare them because they're not even the same thing. They're two different shows trying to achieve different things.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that Penguin hooked me first episode. I was like, let's go. I'm not as hooked as I am in this one, but obviously I still want to do more episodes and talk about it more on the show.
I'm intrigued.
Because I'm definitely interested, for sure.
Speaking of sequels and prequels.
And I like this episode a lot.
Speaking of sequels and prequels, we're talking about something that takes place 10,000 years before these Dune movies.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have stakes. How high are the stakes, right? Now, we know that like the entire, universe isn't going to be destroyed. So we know it's not that high. So what are the stakes here? That's the problem with doing sequels and prequels especially, because you kind of know, like, okay, we know that the stakes are not...
Yeah, we know it always leads to Paul. And it even says in the show, 10,000 years before Paul Atreides.
Well, all that genetic shit that they keep referencing, that's all leading... That's the Kwisatz Haderach product.
Yeah,
project.
I know, and that's what's so big about that first... like that prologue scene of like, or not even a prologue, the beginning of that episode is just her killing her at the beginning, because she was the one who was like, no, we need to continue to manipulate. This is our power, is we can use our bodies as power and manipulate and control, and we can do it by the seed.
They can determine when they get pregnant.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. Like that kind of body control. They take poison, they can dilute it inside themselves and piss it out without being whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Like, and they're also incredible fighters. They're the peak of human evolution, and it's that's what really,
because they have to compete with you said, they had to do it because they didn't have machines.
That's what really drives me about these books, about the Dune books, is that these are people who are approaching the level of gods, but it's all of it is just incredible willpower and mindfulness and just focus, and just like we are just evolved better than humanity is now.
Yeah.
Like we have touched superhuman powers because we've expanded every piece of knowledge, and like we know more what to do with our bodies, and whatever. It's really neat that it's almost superheroes, but there's nothing superhuman or like fantastical about. Well, of course.
Well, there's a lot of like magical shit to it.
There's some mystical shit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
moving
on. Before we get to the comics we want to talk about.
Oh God.
Well, it's still in the. Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm looking like there's a camera. I'm shocked. This is a DC heavy episode because. Well, Warner Brothers in particular.
Whoa, hey, Warner Brothers, take a look at it.
Fuck
you
fucking
David. Dickholes.
Fuck you, Zasla.
Fucking fuck faces.
No, it's Warner Brothers heavy because we're talking about the DC Studios.
And we got DC Books, and we're talking about Dune, which is on Max.
Owned by Warner Brothers.
Owns.
Anyway,
who owns
James Gunn recently sat down with IGN and did like an 18-minute like video, mostly talking about.
We're gonna listen to all of it.
Yeah, all 18 minutes. Mostly talking about Creature Commandos. However, because of the nature of where the DCU is, he was asked about the continuity and things like that, but he was mostly kind of trying to address Peacemaker Season 2. Because there's continuity errors with that. So here's the clip of him addressing how they're going to deal with it in Peacemaker.
So what's canon and what's not these days in the DCU? Because obviously, like, we have Weasel, we have aspects of the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker as well.
Yeah.
Like, what is your thinking in terms of how that works?
Real simply, nothing for sure is canon unless you see it in Creature Commandos forward for the DCU.
Okay.
Now, in Creature Commandos, you'll hear them talk about things that happened in Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. Well, then those things automatically become canon. The truth is, almost all of Peacemaker is canon, with the exception of Justice League.
You're late, you dickheads.
Which we will, kind of deal with in the next season of Peacemaker.
Oh, okay.
But really, to be totally sure, everything that's purely canon is Creature Commandos through Superman, through Lanterns, Supergirl, Peacemaker season 2.
I mean, does canon matter anymore anyway?
Well, one of the weird things to me.
So, anyway.
Who's talking?
That's the IGN interviewer. He was just asking him.
No, but who's saying, who cares about canon?
That's the interviewer.
Oh, okay.
No,
that's what I thought. I was seeing it from over
I'm
here,
glad that
and I was thinking, okay.
Because he has a challenging thing of trying to be like, what do I keep from the DCEU that I like to carry over here, and what elements does he keep? And then there's the critique of like, well, it's just all his shit that he liked, all his shit that he made in the DCEU, and none of Zach's stuff. And I'm like, again, because James Gunn made the best stuff in the DCEU. I'm sorry, guys, it's just a fact. The comparative, like maybe box office wise, it didn't do as well, but the Suicide Squad is such a better movie, and Peacemaker is so good. Are you kidding me? But anyway. So I'm glad that he kind of gives some clarification and then jokes about, yes, we're going to just ignore that Justice League scene in season 1, because quite honestly, every other thing about season 1 of Peacemaker works by itself. The only thing, even the references to the broader DCU or broader DC could still work in that, without really having to negate anything but that joke scene at the end of the first season. So, and I kind of cut it off there, but he has a great approach to this as well, where he says, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but it's made up. It's fake. And I think I'm glad he says that, and I'm glad he has that approach, because you have to have that approach to make anything artistic, because there's just, like, anytime you write a story, right, there is a certain extent where you're like, okay, as long as it's consistent with all this other stuff, this other rules and things that I have in place in this story, sometimes you're just like, I got to move this along. I got to make this better. I got to make this entertaining.
You got to have a what is it called?
Chekhov's gun or something?
Not a mulligan.
Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Yeah, but something like that. Or you just kind of have those exceptions. You just have to accept those things. And I love that he's just saying, like, look, this shit's made up, guys, and we can kind of do whatever we want with it and start wherever we want and do it. That's. By the way, if you love the Penguin and the Batman, guess what? It's its own thing. It doesn't even need to be in canon, and you can tell that story.
Hollywood wants so badly those true life stories based on a true story,
And you can have those.
Can you believe this happened in real life? Now, first things first is that hardly any of those movies happen the way they did happen in real life, A. And B, the Coen brothers did the best thing that Hollywood has ever seen by making up an entire movie and then convincing everybody that it was based on a true story. Fargo.
Oh, yeah.
First, 4 times I saw that, I didn't realize it wasn't actually based on a true story. A Japanese woman flew to North Dakota and died looking for the money.
And they made everything else up.
No. She thought that it was real, so she went to North Dakota and tried to...
Oh, she did it because of
in real life, she died.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm not blaming the car. I'm just saying, they did something that every Hollywood writer wishes they could do, which is make and craft a story so believable that you could say it's based off a true story. But I'm really sorry. There's at least 3 things in this book we're about to review that I love, and you cannot explain them with reality or grittiness or whatever. That's fine.
I have one more small clip to play, and then we'll get into the book. This clip is also referenced because, again, most of this conversation is about Creature Commandos. So this is kind of talking broadly about Creature Commandos. And this is kind of a silly question that I thought was just funny.
Speaking of, this show involves our heroes kicking the crap out of a bunch of incels. Mm-hmm. And then they also go to a Knights of Columbus and kill a bunch of Nazis. Not to spoil too much, but are you worried about alienating a part of your audience?
Yeah, I'm really worried about alienating the Nazi audience. Like that's been we had a long talks about this.
There was a lot of.
We thought we would take a stand against Nazism.
Well, I don't know if it's too soon, but we did think that we would do that. We were like, let's be courageous.
What ballsy, heroic people we are that we took a stand against Nazis. That is, so few people are afraid to do that these days.
It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell.
I just wanted to have that in there because that was a fucking funny clip. The whole thing was funny to me because, it was clearly a joke question of like, aren't you worried about alienating people? Yeah, I'm real alien. Like, come on. They're fucking Nazis. Fuck them. All right, let's get into the books. Also, I'm very, very excited. Creature Commandos, by the way.
Couple weeks.
A couple weeks. We're definitely going to be reviewing that week to week. I can't wait. The DCU is finally starting. We've been waiting for this shit for 2 years now?
I'm excited too.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Speaking of, let's talk about DC All In because we agreed we'd at least read the number ones of Absolute Batman, Superman,
Still
and
waiting
Wonder
on
Woman.
the Wonder Woman #1 reprint, but I believe Wonder Woman 2 comes out tomorrow because Absolute Batman 2 came out last week and they were all coming out a week after each other.
Yeah, Superman is they're like staggered because Superman
was the third one.
It was Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Yeah. So
I'm
Superman's the most
hoping
recent.
to get 1 and 2 of Wonder Woman tomorrow.
So anyway, number 1 of Absolute Superman. Jason Aaron's the writer. Who's the artist?
Sandoval? Rafa Sandoval.
And we got. You know what? We got to give the full credits. Who's on the inks and the colors?
We're gonna go. I'm getting there. It's on the very last page here.
Oh, come on. Well, anyway, this is, again, the DC all-in approach. We talked about it with Absolute Batman, where they're doing, yet again...
So Jason Aaron, writer, Rafa Sandoval, artist, Ulysses Areola, colorist, and Becca Carey, letterer.
So, yeah, anyway, this is the DC all-in Absolute line that is giving creators another chance to recreate or retell the classic stories that we know.
From what I understand,
we're doing
it's
Superman.
also,
what are you doing? We're doing Superman first.
I know, but from what I understand, it's also
give me the book.
It's also all tied in to the same new universe, new DC.
This is the connecting the fucking Elseworld shit.
Whatever.
I'm still so mad about that. That was the beauty of it. Is it's not supposed to be connected. Anyway.
No, I'm sure they'll still make Elseworlds books, but just this is...
So, well, I mean, that's more of what Black Label is. Black Label is kind of its own thing, too.
So last week I posed a question, would I be as excited about Absolute Superman #1 as I was about Absolute Batman #1? And I can say definitively, no. No, I'm fucking not. In fact, I'm really disappointed in this.
Yeah, can I just say I am a little worried, and I have no idea the creative team on Wonder Woman.
It's Kelly Thompson and somebody else, I think.
I do like Kelly Thompson. Yeah, I do like her, though. So, I mean, again, we agree we'd check them all out. But there's a lot to live up to with Absolute Batman, and I'm worried the Absolute Batman of the Trinity, I think, is probably going to be the best one, probably the best series. I didn't hate this book. There's some things that I enjoyed and some interesting things I liked, but that there were definitely some times in this book that I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. And I can forgive cheesiness to a certain degree in a Superman book, but
Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman.
Thanks.
Anyway,
but I'm so dismissive. Thank you.
Fuck.
But Again, there are things that I really liked in this book, but there are definitely eye roll each things, and I get it. It's a Superman book. It's gonna have cheesy elements, but it just like can we just jump into it, right?
Yeah. Here's why I hate this book compared to Absolute Batman.
Okay, go ahead.
And in fact, when all this first came out, we pretty much derided the whole line because that stupid fucking logo, right? Even I am like, okay, I know it's like. You gotta swallow some of that shit. You gotta fucking suspend your disbelief at some point.
Have some fun.
It's all made up, right?
Yeah, have some fun.
Right? So, yeah, it's fucking stupid, but it's cool as shit when he takes it off his chest and chops that dude's arm off.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
One thing that Absolute Batman did that made it so good is that they took an existing character with all of these traits that are kind of locked in and what make him who he is. And they took one of them and they said, nope, taking that away. And what was it? He's not rich anymore. Which, seriously, really shakes everything up and makes it a really intriguing version of Batman. Like, wow, this is a Batman who, like, knows the guts of Gotham City. Right?
I mean, this is the thing.
I'm saying that that's what made Absolute Batman good.
I'm gonna push back on this, I think.
On Absolute Batman?
On this?
I'm
For
saying
Absolute
there's
Superman.
nothing about this. You like it?
No.
You like it?
I'm gonna push back here. I'm gonna push back. Here's
Fucking
why.
bullshit.
Here's why. As we're having this discussion, again, there are some.
You're trying to like it, aren't you? Don't fall into it.
No. Here's why it's brilliant. Because what you just said was an argument for it. Because what's a character trait that Clark has, right?
What?
He always has that trait of he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and he talks to his dad in an AI form, right?
I don't know about that.
Space dad, ghost dad, whatever the joke. But you know what I mean. In the Christopher Reeves version and in the Zack Snyder version.
Yeah, all right. So anyway,
point is they do that here, but they do it with his suit. The AI is Jor-El. It's not Jor-El, but that's what it's supposed to be. I think that's kind of genius.
That doesn't change it. No, here's the thing.
No, that doesn't change how I feel about it 100%.
I was talking about this yesterday to myself because I was getting ready for the show because I care about this show.
Thinking about talking points.
And one of the ones that I came up with was how they didn't do anything like that in here. And what came up to me was, what's something that I would think of? And then it came to me, ooh, Krypton's still around. And then I thought of it. Maybe that's what the fucking twist is. But there's a point where it says, no, Krypton is doomed. So we know that Krypton actually explodes at some point. And the whole, if you want to tell me that, oh, his parents aren't scientists, yes, they fucking are. They just weren't allowed to join the Science Academy
They're
or whatever.
super smart. Yeah.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up. And then oh, the Superman symbol is the lower class, the labor class.
Can I just, okay, that was the point where I rolled my eyes. Okay, and I like Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
And you said you were disappointed because you actually like him too. You know, you like his work.
The work he did on the Avengers,
his Punisher, we reviewed his Punisher book.
Fucking classic.
But this is really heavy-handed early on. So like it gives them, and again, there are things that I really like about this book. I love that we spend so much time on Krypton at the beginning. I like that. I like that we're exploring what life was like and farming and all this other stuff in a little bit. I did get a little eye rolly because it's like, okay, dude, we're just like strawberries or crawberries. They're just like, okay, we're just putting weird names on things to be like, oh, they're in space. That's why it's named this way, you know? But other than that, I like that his parents were farmers. But then I hate that they did that Aaron does that of like still makes it like, well, they were super duper smart and blah 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 blah.
Oh, so wait a second. Let me guess. So in the next issue, they're going to go to the Lazarus Foundation, John and Martha Kent, who are super smart, rich scientists on Earth, and his parents on Krypton were lowly farmers. Is that the fucking twist, Jason Aaron? Because go fuck yourself, dude. If that's the fucking twist, fuck you, dude.
Wow. Calm down.
Dude, I'm serious.
So,
if that's the twist, that his parents are reversed on each world in this universe, fuck off, dude.
This is the part where I was like, come on, man. Where I rolled my eyes was People like my parents. Okay, so the crest of the laborer was seen as a mark of shame. That's why it's an S. The sign of the poor and the unskilled. People like my parents wore it with pride. We were the people of steel. Roll my fucking eyes.
So yeah, he's got some sort of suit.
Do you get it? Do you get it?
I got it. So he's got some sort
This is
of.
me with the comic book hitting the mic.
So he's.
This is Jason Aaron. It's called symbolism. You get it?
Hey, do you hear that?
Jesus.
So I'm done talking about the book.
Are you really?
Oh, I don't need.
No,
to
I want to talk about things I like.
Go for it. I'll right along there with you.
I like the Peacemakers.
I don't.
That's so silly. I love it.
Okay.
Why?
It was kind of cool, like seeing like, oh, okay, that's interesting twist.
This I'm still trying to understand. So, this is also really leaning into more of him using the sun as power. As being solar power.
And they do reference that it's the suit and not him. Which, if that's what you're telling me too, is that he's not powered and it's just his suit. He just has a suit.
I don't think it's that. I think it's
no. There's some sort of twist.
No. I just think that what Aaron. I think what Aaron is doing is trying to just say that like
fucking up my life.
his version of the character is very. He's gonna lean into the idea of like he's more solar powered. Not to say that he can't fight at night or whatever, but he's just I think he's gonna try and do more with his.
What happens on cloudy
solar
days?
Shit. What happens indeed?
Because clearly at some point he like loses energy. That's fucking stupid. No.
Well, you saw how powerful he can be.
I don't care.
You gotta nerf him because he
can't
he
even.
turns into like a warhead.
He can't even control his own vision. Go to hell, Jason Aaron.
Dude,
go to hell.
You don't know how old he is. You don't know
go
how
to
old
hell.
he is.
Go to hell.
You don't know how long he's been
Go
on
to
Earth.
hell. I'll tell you this. I am going to buy number 2 just so I can see if there's anything else. Like what? You got one more chance, Jason Aaron, to make me give a fuck about your absolute Superman. Because right now, I don't give a fuck about him, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh well, it's just funny because it's like just tells you like how I don't know what happened in your book. I think the staple.
Whatever. Just stop
the binding
fondling it.
I opened it and the binding got messed
Whatever.
up, dude. Look.
I don't care. Just don't fuck around with it anymore. Hey, it'll be in the thing. No, go ahead. It'll be
I
in
didn't
the thing.
do anything.
Go ahead. No, you can read it. I don't care. By the time it's in there, and if I ever sell it for anything, which I won't, they won't know about that. You can read it.
No man,
I don't
the
care.
binding all
I
messed
don't
up.
care.
Anyway, point is,
Anyway.
I liked.
I was saying that our friendship means more to me than some stupid
book.
first printing of a number 1.
I don't know, man. It's not a bad story because Jason Aaron is a good writer, and I think there are still some things that are hanging threads that I'm interested in with it. But it's not hooking me like Absolute Batman did.
No.
And
I guess, yeah, it's not terrible. I can't say it's terrible.
It's preference, right? It goes back to I'll bring
I
up.
think because I was so impressed
Yeah.
with Absolute Batman when I thought it was just going to be a piece of shit.
But Tyler, nobody.
And I know that I should have gone into that going like, hey, give it, time. And trust me, when I first read it, I did give it a full like, hey, I'm going to be open about this. And by the time I was done, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I clearly
And
like it
that's-
more than you do.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than you did. I
It
think.
wasn't bad. It just, again, like, I was like, that's it? You got to, Lois Lane is a soldier in this one. Brr,
Instead of a journalist.
brr. Yeah, I'm Jason Aaron.
That's the Lazarus stuff. I don't know what that is. Are we tying that to Roz?
Here's
Are
the
we
other.
tying it to
Here's
that?
the other thing that I'm curious about is, are these 3 books linked in the same world, or are they
I'm wondering, is
separate?
this Batman? That's what I was thinking too. Is this Batman tied to the Superman?
Once I read Wonder Woman, I might get more clues because that was
Yeah.
between the 2. And again, I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman 2 comes out tomorrow.
I will say that. Again, I think I'm much more positive on it than you are. I'm a little bit more invested in where it goes. And I think a lot of it is because of what he was doing with Krypton. And I think at some point, it's a weird balance for me because I like the idea of giving a little more backstory to Krypton. But at the same point, I don't really care if you're always going to destroy it. And I agree with what you were saying. I would have preferred an idea of like, oh, Krypton didn't die. Superman's just here on a mission.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily do an evil thing, but maybe like a peacekeeping mission or something. I don't know. But anyway, point is,
Can we get to the good book?
how would we rate it? Like, if we were to, on a scale of 1 to 5 Superman symbols, what do you give it? 1 to 5.
Right now, I'll give it a 2.5 just because
2.5.
the creative team, I think, deserves credit for making something. It's a good looking book. It just, again, like,
I mean, Aaron is still a good writer. It's still a pretty competent story. It's just not hooking you. It's
look,
just,
to me, the whole idea of the absolute line is horse shit to begin with. Okay. Too many reboots, too many restarts, too many.
well, I got
brand new.
I remember when Earth 1 was coming out. I got Earth 1 books on my shelf.
You got
and
evidence
stuff.
of the fucking crimes on your bookshelves right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
So
New
this
52?
So it's an extremities thing,
Yeah.
you know, like or it's an extreme thing where like I was like, fuck this shit, and then Absolute Batman was like, whoa, this shit's cool, and then Absolute Superman was like, this fucking shit sucks. So it's like I can't just be like nice about it because I was going into it like, fuck you,
Who would have thought
DC.
Wonder Woman is the break point? Of whether he likes
I am hopeful.
the absolute
I'm
line.
very hopeful because she's like the queen of hell. And so she probably marries Pluto or something, which might be some cool shit. I don't know. But yeah, this book,
Okay.
Absolute Batman #2.
Like I said at the top of the show, comic books I absolutely adore as a medium.
Batman as fuck. Come on.
That I wish that wasn't in there. I think it was fine without the Batman.
He
AF.
explains the whole thing about the advance forward and the fucking...
Yeah. Batman as fuck. Come on.
No, it's Batman advance forward,
Yeah.
but it can be read as Batman as
As
fuck.
fuck.
Come on!
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm just shitting all over that book and just... Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, let me just
rub
wax
this-
poetic
put
about
this
this
down my
fucking
pants.
shit. So Absolute Batman #2, Scott Snyder, the writer. Whoa, that rhymed. And then Nick Dragata is the artist, and then I don't know who's on the inks and the colors. Maybe the guy holding the fucking book could show me. Keep flipping the next page. Oh my God, where's the title page?
Okay, it's back here. It's artist Nick Dragota.
Yeah,
Colorist
Dragota.
Dragota. Colorist Frank Martin. Letterer Clayton Cowles.
Already.
So,
I think. Well, so when I was reading
the
it,
first like 4 pages is him and Alfred recounting Batman basically just tearing the shit out of the party.
it's
animals.
also showing
really cool.
like the prologue is kind of showing what happened after his dad
Oh,
was
yeah.
killed, and like the
All these
bats
bats
overcoming him
swarmed
in
him.
the zoo.
That's cool looking, dude. When he's falling.
Yeah.
And then they show him hanging up beside him.
Well, yeah, and then the next few pages, he's fighting. Well, this is what I mean. Is like so. What I love about this book, told from the perspective of Alfred as not a butler, but as a spec ops guy, of talking about him and saying like every time he thinks there's a point where he should retreat or he thinks he's defeated, he's fighting in the zoo, and the spikes come out of his cape, out of his suit, and he backs into the aquarium and they all cover him, so there's just water that slides in, and then he just keeps fucking him up and drops
it's a solution that turns it into acid.
so their feet burn, sulfuric acid and sulfuric acid or something like that. It had to be hydro because water. But yeah, so he shoots it down in bones, and then he's just like, and then he just fucking admires it because he did all that because of the cape that he designed and the tech that he designed. He was hanging upside down like a fucking bat. And on that is an example of symbolism that I could fucking get behind. Because you know what? To what you were saying, Scott Snyder fucking committed to it. And he said, you know what? This is my Batman. I've done this. How can I outdo myself? I've done the Dark Knight's Metal shit. I did my own run in the New 52. How could I top it? How could it be different? I don't know. Just take away his money. Make him work inside the city, understand the guts of Gotham. Make him more like a bat. And also kind of make him a little bit more insane. Because, I don't know, man, by the end of the book, you were in the room when I was reading it, and you just kind of grinned at me because I was just like, what the fuck? And I just chuckled at the last page.
The giant-ass Batmobile.
Again, this book is one of the reasons I fucking love comics, man. Like, it's just so ridiculous and so amazing and just... And then again, so as it's progressing, this whole story, this whole part of it is really, just kind of telling the story of him just ramping up, him just beating the fuck out of party animals. Yeah. And I will say, much like, I will be fair to Absolute Superman. Yeah. There are things that I really liked in Absolute Superman, things that I didn't, a lot of things I was kind of like, whatever. There are some things in this book I did not like. And I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of him being friends with the villains. So the context is they're not actually the villains, but it's Harvey Dent, it's Edward Nygma, it's
Oz,
Killer
Oswald,
Croc. Yeah, Oz
Killer Croc.
and Killer Croc.
And Selina's in the group, but she's not around.
But they're all his friends, and I'm like, and they're all kind of meatheads, and I'm like, okay, but...
Well, the whole scene with the poker game, I could have done without.
That was a part of the book I was like, we were wasting time. No, I mean, I understand the intent of the scene is like, okay, we're going to show him be a detective outside of being Batman. Show Bruce being the detective. I get it. I get the point. But I do not like the idea of his friends being... And it's so on the nose. Like, Edward has a fucking necklace with a question mark. And it's like, okay, so not everything works in this book for me. But
you're right.
But 90% of this book fucking kicks ass. And the aquarium scene, and you were there in the room when I was reading it, and I was like, you're fucking kidding. He's a bat like that. And you're just like, right? It's why didn't anybody think to do shit like this before?
But it's fucking cool.
Also, the art, you and I were talking about this. Bruce's face looks weird.
The cop that's standing in Jim Gordon's room, I think it's Bullock.
Yeah.
But his face looks kind of weird, too. It's just something I noticed.
Bruce's face looks like a baby face.
Other than that, I don't mind. But yeah, I don't like the way he draws Bruce's face.
Overall, the art's great. No, I love the art, but
I don't want to just shit on Absolute Superman. I mean, I know I did for 20 minutes.
I know. I was so much nicer about that book than you were.
I don't want to shit on. It's just like I have no problem.
Man, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
I have no problem suspending my disbelief with anything in that book. Yeah. I think going into Superman books, you kind of have to, right? Now, Batman has always kind of been the more down-to-earth, street-level, gritty,
that's also
right? Realistic, right?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's also a point I wanted to have. I knew going in I was going to have a bias. I knew I was going to like Dude, I fucking hosted...
Maybe it's because I like Batman more.
At one point, I hosted a podcast called Batcast, okay? Clearly, I was going to like Absolute Batman more than I was going to Absolute Superman.
Maybe it's just I like Batman more.
I've always loved Batman. Batman's always been my favorite DC guy. So,
but we were talking about this, and what it is that I think, comparing the two, what I think makes Absolute Batman work is that they take a character-defining trait and they change it. Him being rich. He's not, so that forces the story to turn into now he's this way,
that's
and
why,
he's industrious, and da-da-da-da-da,
and that's why
right?
he's winning every fight that he's in, because he understands the city better than anyone, so he knows his battlefield.
Right.
He gets the war, he understands the battlefield.
It lends itself to the story of the character, right? So it's still,
and
right?
it adds to his detective obsessive nature
what is
that he's always
What
had.
is it in Absolute Superman that they're changing? Because I'm assuming that each one of these Trinity characters that they're doing that, right? What is it that they're changing? And I thought, ooh, maybe... To me, honestly, you want to change something about Superman and make him really intriguing and explore that fucking world for a while, that corner of the sandbox, fucking tell me that Superman's on Earth and Krypton is still around. Why? Dude, you can just, you can just layer story about...
Oh, yeah, by the
what
way...
is this shit? Oh, what is that? He's got a suit instead of...
We forgot to mention the Brainiac tease in Absolute Superman.
Where was that?
I forgot, but it's in there. No, that was a weird fart sound I made.
Yeah, what happened coming out of your nose,
no,
man?
I absolutely did really, really love Absolute Batman #2. See what I did there? And again,
My love for Absolute Batman was absolute.
and I think it's going to get better, and I think that Absolute Superman #2 is going to be good.
I'm gonna get it because I'm still not.
It's still Jason Aaron, dude. Jason
right,
Aaron's still
I'm not
a great
giving
writer.
up on it. I don't want to, but at the same time,
If
like,
it's not clicking, it's not clicking. Like you can't, you know what I mean?
It's just not right now yet.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Here's the thing: the idea that like Wonder Woman like somehow like had to marry Pluto and like that's why she's the Queen of Hell and like she killed him and like took over like. That sounds cool to me. But here's the other thing, too. I've never really been a Wonder Woman fan. In other words, I've never really read her comic books that much.
Yeah.
When I do
me
read
neither.
her books,
I never
they're
read
not
a
like
lot of
super, like
Wonder
they don't
Woman
really
either.
catch on with me as much.
Mhm.
For whatever reason. I still love the characters. Characters great. But I don't know if I've just never read the right ones. I feel like what I'd like to do in the future, and this would be a great segment for our show, is do something where we look up Wonder Woman would be a perfect example, a character that is beloved by a lot of people, but that I don't really necessarily get it, right? Or I've just never read maybe the best books, right? Look that up online and find out, like, an article like the top 10.
Yeah, there's always articles of the best Wonder Woman
and then
books
review
or
those
whatever, yeah.
and see if those, I'm saying like
Yeah.
maybe I've just not read the right Wonder Woman
Sure.
books.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's in the reality of it is you connect to the character because you find the right story at the right
Deadpool's
time. Yeah.
Secret Wars was finally the book that made me realize what a great comic book character Deadpool was. Seriously. Because before it was X-Force shit and Rob Liefeld and he didn't know how to write
Well,
shit.
yeah. I've always been a Deadpool guy.
Yeah, but until he... But
but I didn't get on until Daniel
when he
Way
got
and-
reinvented by Cullen Bunn and
Daniel
Daniel Way and all those guys, that's when he got really incredibly good.
There was a
Like a good character.
Yeah, and then there was that weird stage when he got like a kind of like a meme character, and then I could do a whole thing about that.
We could do a whole thing about Deadpool.
So yeah,
But like another character to me, and here's the thing: we like Superman. That Superman Space Age was awesome
Why do you have to keep it?
because
You
I
do
liked
not
it.
need to defend your opinion of
I
that
don't
book.
care. I fucking hated
You
it.
just liked Absolute Batman more.
Fucking hated it.
That's fine.
My love
That's
for
okay.
Absolute Batman is absolute. My disdain for Absolute Superman is absolute disdain.
Wow.
Take that, internet. Yeah. What are you going to do about it, internet? Cry? Where? I'm the internet.
Do you want to do a long box?
I figured we did. How long have we been going?
We're almost about an hour and a half. I mean, we can if you want.
I would do the book I just finished, but I got book club on Thursday, and I'm already going to be talking about it then. I don't
I
want
mean,
to waste any
well,
more
in that
on
case,
you
I
people.
just wanted to do self promotion at that point
Go for it.
for us,
Yeah.
for our thing, ladies and gentlemen. I think well, it's already been announced publicly.
O-P-O-double.
Hey, come on.
Hey. Hey.
Ding, ding.
Hey. Hey.
So yeah, OPOW back in 2022 was a side project that we did.
It's going to be back in
On
2022? Wait, it's already 2024.
Back in 2022.
Oh.
We did this little thing.
I was going to say, are we going to do a time machine where we go back to 2021 and then back in
Well,
2022?
I want to be clear. It was just a partnership that we still have. We had with Danny Salcedo at the time, but now it's under new ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't wait to Black Friday over on.
Yeah, we just provide the capital. They actually have we do.
We just give them the name.
They have two guys, Max Girth and Bill Crispy.
Yeah.
Bill Crisp.
Bill Crisp.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Crispy.
But anyway, I just wanted to make it very
They're
clear.
weird.
I want to make it very clear. YouTube.com/offpanel-off-wrestling is the YouTube channel. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Click the bell. All that shit.
Fucking better.
All the old episodes are still up. And then there's also a new
Classic,
episode
dude.
kind of telling you who owns it.
And here's the thing,
what's
too,
going
is
down
that
with
there's
the
a
new season.
storyline from last season
There's a couple of dangling
There's one in particular that I think you guys will find very fascinating. And here's the fun thing about collaborating on stories is that started off with an idea, and then I was like, well, this is why. And kind of like, and then you were like, well, this is that. And then and it just, it's so great when you have somebody who's on that wavelength where you can go, okay, I like your idea, but what about this? And then they're like, oh yeah, but then this too. And then it just, it grows from that one idea that's already awesome, but then it just makes it like 14 times awesome. It's like, wow.
Well, I've always said like one of my favorite things about playing D&D was even honestly the shit that we did before
the wartime letters.
Well, the session 0 of like building the character and how the character all your character, it's role playing, right? And it's fun because it's being in a writer's room about
humbly yours in Christ.
It's just we're literally, it's you, me, and Luke are like the three.
Who's Luke? I don't know this.
Yeah,
guy.
you do. He has been on the show multiple times. But Luke, you know,
who's that guy?
Luke and I, we've been doing like this shit for a while. Like we've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Outcropping of stuff you guys did back in the day.
And to finally kind of have that come to fruition again after what we did into it. And I don't know how long this new version is going to run. I just know that I've had so much fun coming back to it and getting back into it. And
you know what's great about it?
It's going to be great.
We're going to make every effort. We're making as much effort. We're making time for this is the thing. You know, no, I'm serious. Like
that's also why the content has been slow on the YouTube channel.
I don't have a lot going on right now because I'm just a lazy piece of shit. You do. So, but the reason why we don't get together and create content as much is because we don't have a lot of time where we both. No, I do work at a radio station, and I do have shifts where at night.
Yeah,
most of my shifts.
I usually work during the day. You know, so our schedules don't always sync.
It's usually about 1 or 2 days a week, but we're making time to do this because I love it. I've been a fan of it since we've been doing it. It was really fun to be a part of those guys, and I can't wait to hear what Max. What Bill Crisp has been doing. I'm surprised he's still alive. That guy's...
well, and yeah, just to kind of...
I saw him snorting an elephant one night.
Just to finish the jerk sesh that we're having on the show. No, it has...
Did I tell you what I love about you?
Well, I want to kind of bookend some things. Like, I started the show talking about how, like, video games and comic books have always been my escape and have been... things that I adore. And of course, in these times, these last couple weeks where it's felt so dark and I've been
miserable,
been so, in a bad place, I've relied on this off panel, off wrestling and reading comic books and getting back into things that, my hobbies that I really enjoy. And it's a kind of a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination of us telling, and like I said multiple times, this is a comedy show first, and it is a comedy writer's room. So to have the three of us, again, understanding the assignment and understanding that we're literally making a fake fucking wrestling company in a video game to maybe like 50 people to watch.
It's
but
tough,
anyway,
yeah, and it's tough. Like it's tough because
it's amazing. I love it.
You got to be able to. This project, can you make this project like the way you want it to and everything, having that, can you jump onto that and be like, yes, this is what we're going for, and are you built for that? Can you, like, here's an idea, and yes, that is exactly yes, and then the back and
forth. The fun of it, and for me, and I think it is for you and Luke too, like the fun of it is embrace the silliness of this. It's a fucking video game. It's a fake wrestling company. Yeah. If something fucks up and glitches,
are you built for it?
Lean into it. Like the first time, I couldn't even get the universe mode to work properly, so I had to do all the matches myself. So every time it went to a different city, I was like, "Well, we're teleporting to another city."
Yeah,
like you just rolled in. Yeah. You just you gotta roll.
Oh,
with the
they
shit.
did.
You just roll with
those
the shit
guys did
because it's funny.
It's different guys.
And then We literally
Not
took
us.
we took a glitch. We took a glitch
They did.
in a match
Oh yeah.
and made it a storyline in this season.
I can't wait for you to read that shit. I can't wait for you. To
And
read
it's
that
the
shit.
silliest.
No, it's like the first time that me and Jake like realized that we both liked RoboCop. It was like, okay, I know I can write shit with you because
we're gonna make a.
we both get this movie
Yeah.
clearly.
And I've always wanted to book a wrestling show.
You know, and I just want to,
So there we go. So anyway, I want to be very clear. November 29th, youtube.com/offpanel
slash.
off wrestling.
We're not talking about the guitarist. It's Guns N' Roses.
OPOW Climax is
Yeah,
going to be
it
there.
is.
Black Friday.
Ooh.
Also, I would just say I got some insider information.
Uh huh.
I would maybe check back in the next day, November 30th.
Uh huh.
Same place, youtube.com
Yeah.
/offpanel/off wrestling. Because I got something. I got some inside intel to tell you that it's going to be
Bill
interesting.
Crisp has been talking to us while he's been drunk. Let's just say that.
And Bill Crisp knows some people.
Bill Crisp knows some people because he's seen them naked.
Also, I want to
They've been
point
naked
out,
together.
real quick.
He's a sexy man.
With OPOW coming back and off panel, off wrestling being a thing again, I want to be very clear. You should use our promo code for the fake subscription service, OPOW Max Plus. Remember, there's two tiers. There's the $9.99 ad tier, or the $14.99 no ads.
And this is the best part about the $14.99 is it's just like Prime, where you still get ads.
But if it's $9.99, it'll be like 6 ads.
Yeah, but $14.99 it's like a 15-second ad, but you're still gonna get the ads.
No, but here's the best part. The 6 ads are like first act, second act. They're like in act breaks that you're really invested. We're gonna hit you with 6 ads in a row.
Yeah.
And then when you do for $15.99, it's only 3 ads.
But they're 15 seconds apiece.
But then you're getting all the
They're like the short versions of those fucking Liberty Mutual commercials. Those fucking look at all the money I saved about a wax thing. You couldn't have fed the poor, you fuck.
No, you fed that stupid Limu.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.